Hello, friends, and welcome to Storytime. Today we're going to be reading the book Camping, a Mr. and Mrs. Green Adventure. This book is written and illustrated by Keith Baker. So this is the front cover, this is the back cover, and this is the spine. And the spine says, Camping, a Mr. and Mrs. Green Adventure. Okay, friends, let's get started. Camping, a Mr. and Mrs. Green Adventure. This is the title page. It was Saturday morning. It was sunny and it was hot. Let's go camping, said Mrs. Green. Mr. Green had never been camping. He was excited. Life with Mrs. Green was full of adventure. We need a tent, said Mrs. Green. A big tent, said Mr. Green, with lots of room. So this is what she's picturing. This is what he's picturing. We need sleeping bags, said Mrs. Green. And pillows, said Mr. Green, soft and fluffy pillows. We need food and water, said Mrs. Green. Like chocolate bars and marshmallows, said Mr. Green, and soda pop. We need warm clothes, said Mrs. Green. And bunny slippers, said Mr. Green. Mrs. Green continued checking her list. We need a camp stove, we need boots, we need a first aid kit, we need flashlights, we need matches, we need hats. We need a harmonica. Mr. Green was a musician. We need paints and paper. Mrs. Green was an artist. And we need a map. A map? Asked Mr. Green. We need a map? Yes, this map, said Mrs. Green. I made it last night. Mr. Green began to worry. We're going far away, he thought. There could be dark, mysterious woods, strange, eerie sounds, spooky, glowing eyes, sharp, pointy teeth, and mosquitoes. Mr. Green was not excited anymore. He was scared, and he hated mosquitoes. But Mrs. Green wasn't scared. She was ready to go. Look, she's super ready, and he looks a little frightened. Mr. and Mrs. Green hiked over their welcome mat and down their front steps, past Mr. Marble's rock garden and his barking dog, Boulder. Beside their favorite picnic spot, where Mr. Green once ate 6 watermelons, past Pollywog Bridge, the best fishing spot in town, around every pothole and dandelion and shortcut alley, and through a squeaky back gate that looked and sounded very familiar. Oh my goodness, why does it sound familiar? Let's find out. Mrs. Green pulled out their map. We will camp here, she said, next to the bird bath. Mr. Green looked closely at the map. He saw the path that they had just traveled. It ended at their backyard. Their cozy, comfortable, beautiful backyard. Wow. So friends, they started here where it says start. And they walked along here, around the street, up and down, through, around, in and out, through the bridge, over, and back, through their back door into their backyard. Mr. Green was excited again. The grass around the bird bath was thick and soft. It was the perfect place to set up their tent. He would sleep like a salamander. After dinner, they crawled into their sleeping bags. Look at that moon, said Mrs. Green. It's like a giant marshmallow, said Mr. Green. He began to play his harmonica, but he fell asleep before finishing even one song. Mrs. Green felt happy. The sleeping bag was snuggly, the stars were twinkling, the frogs were croaking, and best of all, Mr. Green was snoring loudly by her side. The end. So this book was called Camping, a Mr. and Mrs. Green adventure. Thanks for coming to Storytime, friends, and I'll see you next time.